Hi friends, in this video we will see about the getters and setters, how we can implement the getters and setters in the TypeScript. As you have seen in the ES6 modules and all those things, we have seen the getters and setters in the ES6 also. So that means both ES6 vanilla JavaScript and also the TypeScript supports the what we can say these getters and setters. Now let's see how we can implement the getters and setters in the TypeScript. Now we will have the same simple example. Okay, so how we can take the example is something like we will see something like 3 scenarios how we can implement this one. Now we have a reports here. Okay, let's assume that we have a reports. Now I want to get the most recent report. I want to print the most recent report. Okay, how we can do this one? Same scenario, we can have a method something like get most recent report. Okay, this is one type of, this is first way, get most recent report. Like this I will create a method and I will something like I will return this dot reports of this dot reports dot length -1. Okay, so this is how we can use the method. So now we have here add report is there, and here we have something Leela is there, something like we have there. Okay, we have added 2 reports here in the accounting. We have added 2 reports. Now I want to get the most recent report. What is the report? So I can use directly accounting dot get most recent report. I will try to print, I will try to console. If I try to console dot log this most recent thing. Okay, I will try to console most recent thing. What could be the output here? Let's check the output. If I try to, so now we got it as something Leela. Okay, that means we got the most recent report. So this is one way of representing the getting the most recent report. So using that we will try it using getters and setters. How we can try you get getters and setters. Okay, now I will try to remove this one. So getters and setters is nothing but what we can say is, it is a getters and setter is nothing but the property we are trying to get, what we need to get and what we need to set for a property. We will be writing our own custom functions for that one. So for example, I have a, let's assume that I have a property. Okay, instead of calling this method directly, I will use that accounting dot most recent report. I will call directly like this. I will not call it as method. Okay, this is nothing but a property. Okay, you can think this one as a property. How we can do that one? So we will create something like not private, public most recent property you'll be getting. But this most recent property is nothing but what we can say is it is dynamic depending on the reports where a property, it depends. So we could be taking the last data what is inserted recently. We will be taking that value and we need to show it. That means it should be dynamic. So now what I can do is, here I can use a get property. Okay, I will use this most recent report. Okay, I am defining the property what I need whenever somebody access that report, whenever that access that property, what I need to return. So this is the property name, and I am writing my own custom what I need to send that, what I need to send the data. So now get in the get most recent report, what I will try to do is, for example, if not of this dot reports. Okay, if it is not of this dot reports, so if reports are nothing is there, if reports is there nothing there, I can throw a new error of something like no reports found. Okay, I can throw an error, or otherwise I can send return this dot reports of, sorry, this dot reports dot length -1. Okay, I can say, I can send the data like this. So here what it is. Okay, so now I am sending the data. So this is the get most recent report, means nothing but if the reports are nothing there means we are throwing an error, or otherwise we are returning the most recent report. This dot reports of this dot reports dot length -1. Now we will try to access this one. Now directly I can access this one as a property. I will not access this one as a method. I can directly access this one as a property. Now accounting dot most recent report. If I try to print this output, what could be the output here? Here similarly I am getting again the same something Leela. For example, if I am something John, or if I am pushing means, so I can see here I will get an output something like something John. So something John has been added recently, so that is the reason you are getting an output. Now, if I want to set the recent report for this one, for example, you told that this is a property. So I will assign something like recent report. Okay. So this is the property, right? So I can assign some value to this one. So this one is nothing but what we can say. This one is a setter thing. So how we can write the own custom value for this one? Okay. So we can use same thing while they are setting the data. You can use set the same property variable I will be using here, and I can add. And for set property, must ensure we need to have a data. We need to receive the data. Okay, the value what they are assigning, we will be getting the data. And here you can write a condition if not of value. Okay, if there is not a value, no, here I can throw an error that report cannot be inserted. Okay, now I can directly call this dot add report. Okay, we have already that add report method, right? So add report will add the reports into that one. Now whenever we access this one, we are getting the latest report only. Now here what I will try to do is get me most recent report, and again I will try to access the data. Okay, now what could be the output? If I see here, I will be getting most recent report here. For example, if I add this report again, and down here if I access this one as Leela, if I keep, now I am assigning like this as a property. I am having a method and I am trying to access through the property. Now if I refresh this one, I am getting something Leela. So here we have inserted the reports. Okay, this is how we can use the getter and setter properties. Okay, mostly where we will be using this getter and setter properties when we have a private variable, something like, so for example, I will write same logic in a different manner. If you see here, I have a something like private variable most recent or otherwise last record. Okay, I will be having variable last record. It is a string. Okay, I cannot directly access this variable. Okay, outside I cannot directly access this something like last record. I cannot access. Why? Because property last record is private. So what I can do this one, so whenever the reports is inserted, I can for example assume that this dot last record is equal to reports of 0. Let's assume. Okay, whenever we are adding a record, I can do adding a report is there, right? Whenever they are adding a record, I will push this last record to this report. Okay, sorry. And here in this variable, so now in this variable we will be having all the data. All the data means the most recent record we will be having in this variable. Now in this getter thing, so we cannot access this variable, right? Outside we cannot access this one. We can have a getter function something like this most recent report, and now I can check that if there is no last record is there, or otherwise return this last record. I can use like this, and here set most recent value is there means, so I can do throw new error, I can add a report directly. Okay, so now here I can use this dot, sorry. Okay, now here I can use like this. Now if we let's try to check the most recent record and all these things I added, right? Now if I try to check the output here, I will get the same output I will be getting. Okay, but here what I am doing, so with so I cannot access the private variable, so that I have provided an option that so that I can somehow access the data through the getters and setters. Private variable through the getters and setters we can access data. So now we have seen how many types we can get the most recent data like this. We have seen 3 types. First, you can add directly a method, that is a simple straightforward thing. Another one is you can add a getters and setters thing. So for a property, you can add a logic for the property, so that you can have your own custom logic in that property itself. Or otherwise you can create a private variable. So if you have an option, if you have a variable something like private variable, and if you are unable to access that private variable outside, means then you need to create a getters and setters for that private variable, so that you can access that private variable using this getters and setters. Okay, this is how getters and setters work in the TypeScript. So the same concept will be working in the what we can say ES6 vanilla JavaScript concept also. The same thing, getters and setters are supported there also, and the TypeScript supports the same thing. But the only thing which will not be supported is the, as I already told you, that is the type thing. So ES6 doesn't support this type mentioning the type for every properties. ES6 doesn't support, but TypeScript supports that one. That is the beauty of the TypeScript. Okay, if you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post a comment below to this video, and if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you.